Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everything's going well for people out there in the world. Today's video, we are going to talk about the black comedy, The Death of Stalin. This was originally produced as a graphic novel in France. And I don't have the date for that right offhand, but it was originally a graphic, like I said, a graphic novel printed in France. And the novel itself was a black comedy. In 2017, it was adapted into a movie starring notable celebrities such as Steve Buscemi as Nikita Khrushchev, Simon Russell Beau as Baria. I'm not going to try to pronounce his first name. The actual historical figure, that is, Lavrenti, L-A-V-R-E-N-T-I. Jeffrey Tambor as Gregory Melikov, Adrian McLaughlin as the titular Joseph Stalin, Michael Palin as Molotov, and yeah, that was, you know, those are just a small scattering of the cast. I have IMDb pulled up on the monitor over here so I can cheat. Yeah, both the graphic novel and the movie condense things that happened over 6 months to a year, maybe out as far as 18 months, that happened immediately following the death of Joseph Stalin. Like I said, the graphic novel and the movie take all these events and squish them down into probably a couple weeks. So there's a lot of stuff that's accelerated. And this was also another case, like Chernobyl, the miniseries that HBO did, that the actors spoke in their normal accent. Americans spoke an American accent, English spoke English accent, so on and so forth. Ad nauseum, but which, like Chernobyl, I'm kind of on the fence about, because their acting skills and their ability to emote these characters in the context of the story, this dark comedy, is more important than them getting the correct accent. So it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. As a big fan of Stephen Buscemi, first saw him in Con Air, and enjoyed the movies he's done since then. He did that one asteroid movie with Bruce Willis, and I think his character is probably the best character in that movie. Plus, Steve Buscemi basically carried Boardwalk, HBO show. I think it's called The Boardwalk. But it's where he basically plays a real life gangster. Not really an organized crime, but you know, kind of doing his own thing. Built it. Boardwalk Empire. That's the name of the show. And he carried it. He sold it. And with saying all that, I think his portrayal of Nikita Khrushchev is probably one of his stronger performances. Like I said, the whole cast was just, it was kind of lightning in a bottle, because they made this dark comedy a comedy. They put the comedy in this, and their acting skills just were off the charts. Thing is there's a lot at the time that the graphic novel came out. There was still a lot of secrets being kept about Stalin's death. And the people who wrote the graphic novel just filled in the blanks with just very improbable, funny things. Unfortunately for the Soviet Union, or Russia, they had a lot of these guesses and improbable things they were putting in to be funny were actually things that occurred. Once you know, goes back to the old Sherlock Holmes thing. Once you remove what is impossible, whatever's left, however improbable, has to be the answer. And yeah, it's so. But a lot of it is played up. A lot of the stuff that they put in the comic, they went, it would be cool if XYZ happened, but how do we make XYZ funny? And that's what they did, and they did a good job of it. I've read a online version of the comic and really enjoyed it. I would really love at some point to have a hard copy. I may have to check out eBay, because here Amazon lately, they're trying to funnel everyone into like Kindles and stuff. And I don't think a comic book would come out real well as an audiobook. So I'll probably have to dig around eBay and find a copy. Because Amazon, as far as like comics and finding stuff like that, Amazon in the last year to 18 months has gone to shit. So, because like I said, they're just trying to force everybody into that Kindle. So they either just flat out don't carry stuff, or the price on it is so stupid expensive it's not funny. But I really enjoyed the comic. There are things for the rating that the movie got an R rating, and if they would have included everything that was in the novel, it would have probably come real close to an NC-17. There are the things on like Baria and the secret police some of the his sexual desires and stuff like that from the actual, and it turned out the actual historical person was far worse and just as screwed up in the head. And in the movie they kind of allude to it. They're kind of like this and that, you know, this innuendo, this comment, this to for somebody paying attention is gonna go, oh, yep, he's a pervert. Melanov, Jeffrey Tambor as Melanov, Melikov. I don't know why it's mispronouncing that, but plays that character because his real life counterpart was just as spineless and weak and easily manipulated as the movie, even probably more so in real life. The character, the actors and actresses that they got to pay, Stalin's daughter and his son, I'm not even going to try to pronounce their names. They did a good job. The fact that the actor who played Stalin's son, let me see who that was. I'm not seeing him here on the IDBM. I could probably go for full cast on that, but it is what it is. He plays it real well. I don't know how his real life counterpart was, or how long he survived after Daddy died. So yeah, but we do know because the daughter actually, with Khrushchev's help, after Khrushchev ascended to power, helped get her out of the Soviet Union and actually into America. So to kind of protect her from anybody that was trying to manipulate her or kill her. She lived a fairly long life and fairly eventful life, or uneventful life, excuse me there. So that was one of those things. And the let me see if I can find a character's name. Well, there's a character. He's one of the military generals, and my brain is locking up on his name and who he is. But the actor that plays him knocks the dark comedy part of it out of the air. He gets some of the best one-liners in the entire thing. In fact, there's one scene in which he walks up to Melikov and asks him if Coco Chanel shit on his head, and it's just hilarious. And those are just the kind of one-liners he gets. I hate it when my brain does that, and I hate it when I can't find something on IMDb. Well, if you go and watch the movie or read the pictographic novel up and read it, that can be a surprise. As we like in real life, Stalin dies from a stroke, and he dies from a stroke that was not necessarily life-threatening if he would have gotten medical attention. Part of the problem is that Stalin, while purging the Jews in Russia, killed off all the good doctors. So yeah, you know, karma can be a bitch sometimes. Now, there is a bit in the movie and in the graphic novel in which Stalin is listening to an orchestral piece. He really likes it. And so he calls them up and tells the people that I want a recording of it. And because it was live on the radio, there was no recording like there is in this day and age. So they had to redo the performance. And the pianist, who Stalin kind of had a soft spot for, did write a rather nasty note to Stalin about her views on his form of government. But because of the soft spot he had for this particular pianist, it didn't bother him. And that event happened months, like 6, 8, 10 months before he dies. But in the context of this story, they have it all happen on the night he dies, because she ends the note with her wishing he would die. So it makes for good storytelling, but that's one of the things that is kind of historically inaccurate. And the whole, like I said, it's a great little novel, great little graphic novel, great little movie. So I would suggest checking it out. If you want to see a really good dark comedy, that's the dark comedy to check out. So until next time, everybody, be good to humans, be a good human, and peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?